What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best Ascendancy tier list in Path of Exile's 2 new update. So we got huge new game-changing balance shifts, like the removal of the cruel acts, then the addition of the 3 new sections to bridge the gap to level 65. Then they even added sprinting for faster and smoother movement. Then even class and mastery 3 changes, as well as over 40 brand new lineage support gems. And all of this to say that the endgame has never felt more fresh and exciting for PoV2. So if you wanna know the new meta, then let's get right into it. And before we continue, thanks to U4GM, they are a pro website that provides PoV2 services like cheap currency, then even to buy, sell or trade, all kinds of top quality items and gems for real money and much more. They also have more than 20,000 positive comments on Trustpilot, and this website is really worth a try. So make sure to use my discount code KAID for extra 6% off. So let's start at the D tier, and for the first one we have Witchhunter, who is at the very bottom. Even with the new patch point 3 changes like the extended shock duration and sprinting for faster repositioning, this class still struggles to find its footing. Its core mechanics lack strong synergy, and while the dodge and void illusions will provide some utility, the damage scaling is just poor compared to the other melee or caster options. Witchhunter falls often behind due to the inconsistent AoV and weak burst potential. That said, this Ascendancy is a fun and experimental choice for players who want to explore Chaos Lich or the unique visuals of the void illusions. Its niche flexibility is the main reason that anyone would pick it, but don't expect the top tier performance. Next is the Smith of Kitava, who is also in the D tier. Last season's Tempest Bell plus the Forge synergy is gone, and the nerfs to the Smith's Ascendancy nose have hit its baseline and the damage survivability hard. While sprinting and instant weapon swap will improve the combo chaining for the Forge Hammer, these quality of life changes just can't make it up for the sluggish AoV and the poor tankiness compared to the S tier melee builds. The Kitava can still carve out a role in the solo crafted maps or for niche experimental builds, but in Abyssal Pits and the high tier endgame, it often falls clunky and underwhelming. Essentially, it's an Ascendancy that requires perfect gear and setup to shine, and even then, it's outpaced by more streamlined melee options. And now, rounding out the D tier, we have Acolyte of Chayula, that brings style over substance. The new void illusions on the dodge roll and the chaos damage that interacts with the ignite, shock, chill and even the freeze are flashy, but damage consistency remains a problem. Into the Breach and Embrace the Darkness now have a full 4-point node effect by default, which of course improves the baseline survivability, but the Ascendancy just lacks endgame speed and the clear power. It's perfect for players who want a visually striking playstyle, but it's not viable for serious endgame farming. Next up we have C tier, and first I will place the Titan. He can be surprisingly effective in certain contexts, especially during Interludes or the early Act 4 content. The hulking form will provide some tankiness and AoV potential, and with the sprinting and the shield charge buffs, mobility has improved significantly. However, the Titan struggles to keep up in the abyssal endgame content without strong gear, and its scaling is also limited. The class playstyle revolves around taking hits and dealing moderate AoV, which can work for slower paced or experimental builds, but he will lack explosive damage or flexibility of the higher tier Ascendancies. Titan is solid for beginners or players that want a durable frontline role, but who rarely dominates. Next we got Pathfinder, whose strength lies in poison heavy and channeling builds, Toxic Growth becoming ranged, and Toxic Domain offering a persistent AoV poison fields will give the Ascendancy more options than before, and sustainable DR buffs will help the survivability. The new patch lineage support gems will expand the combo potential, letting the Pathfinder mix multiple attacks or the effects. Despite these improvements, its damage output is often inconsistent, and bossing or level map clears will feel underwhelming compared to the Deadeye or the Blood Mage. The Pathfinder excels in creative or teamed builds, but it won't top the leaderboards for pure efficiency. And lastly we got Chronomancer, who remains a flashy and combo-oriented class. Multi-element infusions will let you chain fire, cold and lightning attacks or powerful effects, and the extended shock duration will enhance the synergy. However, the Chronomancer is heavily crit dependent and requires precise timing for optimal performance. Energy shield recovery nerfs also reduce uptime for the prolonged fights. Overall, this Ascendancy is excellent for players who enjoy intrinsic rotations, but situational limitations will keep it firmly in the C tier. It's more about the style and the combo potential than the consistent raw damage. Next up we got B tier, and for the first Ascendancy we got Amazon. Her versatility with the Elemental Surge and the weapon infusions will offer amazing utility. The new lineage support gems have given extra flexibility for the combo setups, and sprinting makes the movement much easier. The Huntress or the Bleed setups will work well for the niche encounters, but compared to the Deadeye, the Amazon's performance is strictly worse across nearly all scenarios. The damage output and survivability are decent but never game breaking. It's reliable mid-tier pick for solo or the casual abyss farming, but it will definitely not compete in this current meta. Next we got Infernalist, who's benefited a lot from the patch point 3 changes that prevent disarming in the demon form, allowing ignite focused builds to shine. Multi-element infusions and the new support gems expand your AoV and the combo potential. While not as consistent as S-tier casters, Infernalist excels in abyssal pit farming and creative playstyles. It's rewarding for players who like risk-reward mechanics, experimentation with the elemental combos, and AoV-heavy builds by offering a fun mid-tier option. The next up we got Invoker, who's steady but lacks endgame explosiveness. The overflow nerf slightly will reduce burst potential, though the meditate will keep ES recovery manageable. The new synergy and sudden improvements against armor broken enemies will remain strong. Invoker handles mid-tier content reliably, but struggles in abyssal endgame or the boss heavy maps, where sustained DPS and mobility are crucial. It's best for players who enjoy a hybrid melee caster, without requiring a fully maxed out setup. Next we got Warbringer, who has enjoyed some quality of life and balance buffs. The totem changes and the block upgrades improve the defensive consistency, so Corrupting Cry will add AoV pressure, and sprinting plus the shield charge combos will enhance mobility and the damage. Endurance charge generation is still situational, but this Ascendancy will offer a fun hybrid totem melee playstyle. It's a solid choice for early content, banners and the experimental setups, though his top tier DPS is lacking compared to the other S tier options. And finally, we've come to the Gemling Legionnaire, who benefits from the passive buffs, better minion scaling and the lineage supports. The summon allies will provide steady damage, and sprinting improves farming efficiency in dense map packs. Bossing is also slightly weaker than the other summon-focused classes, but it remains a fun and consistent choice for those who enjoy a minion-heavy gameplay. He's strong in group content or when paired with other Ascendancies, but falls short in raw solo damage. Next we've come to the A tier, and for the first one we have Ritualist, that shines in combo heavy and multi-elemental setups. The totem buffs, AoV scaling and the strong synergy with the abyssal mechanics make it reliable for both map clearing and the boss fights. Lineage support gems will also allow creative skill combinations, and sprinting plus mobility improvements will help you to move a lot faster. Ritualist balance of survivability and the offense potential will make it one of the most versatile and rewarding A tier picks. Then next we have Tactician, who excels in the range scaling, elemental setups and utility roles. New buffs to supports like the ice-tapped arrows will create a strong AoV coverage, while sprinting ensures positioning flexibility. Multi-element infusions will enable creative damage rotations, and the class performs well in solo or the group content. While not quite S tier, the Tactician is highly reliable in the endgame maps, with plenty of room for creative build experimentation. Next we have Lich, who remains a strong and consistent pick thanks to the improved ward interactions and multi-elemental infusions, as well as the new support gem versatility. The damage over time builds are effective in monoliths, abyssal and the boss fights alike. Survivability is improved by the patch point 3 mechanics, and the class will scale well into the late game content. Lich will offer a mix of thematical playstyle and a solid performance, making it a top tier choice. And now finally we've come to the S tier, and for the first Ascendancy we have Deadeye, who dominates the ranged gameplay yet another update. The godlike multi-projectile scaling, lineage support flexibility and the sprinting for mobility will make it incredibly efficient in the abyssal pits and the endgame maps. Boss melting and AoV control are top tier, while elemental infusions allow creative high damage rotations. Overall, Deadeye is the best and most consistent Ascendancy this season. Next up we have Stormweaver, who excels at elemental scaling, leveraging shock duration, multi-element infusions and the lineage support gems. The very high AoV and single target damage, combined with the flexible skill rotations, will make it a terrifying endgame caster. The patch point 3 changes will enhance the 3 elemental builds, allowing the Stormweaver to dominate both abyssal and the high map content. And then finally we've come to the Blood Mage, who benefits from the reduced attribute requirements, the Chaos and Ignite synergies, as well as strong passive tree improvements. The multi-element infusions, the lineage support combinations, and enhanced survivability will make it a flexible powerhouse. No matter if you're making a build for elemental rotations or abyssal pit clearing, the Blood Mage will provide unmatched creativity and a raw power, which solidifies it as a top tier pick for 0.3 update. So, let me know what you think about this PoV2 tier list in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous top 3 best builds video, where I showed even more powerful builds. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.